Sunday, April 12, 1981, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle, 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank, it holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the pre-dawn hours before launch. An American spaceship has never carried a human crew on its maiden voyage. At the Launch Control Center, 3 miles from the pad, final steps are being completed in the countdown. Final preparations are also being made in the Mission Control Center in Houston, where control of the flight will switch once the shuttle clears the tower. There has not been a manned launch from Kennedy Space Center since the Apollo-Soyuz test project in July of 1975. With this launch, Young and Crippen, launch controllers at the Cape, and flight controllers in Houston will experience the most dynamic, fast-paced series of launch events ever undertaken in the space program, all in less than 9 minutes. The most challenging ascent profile ever to be flown by a space vehicle. Photographers, film and television crews, plus newspaper and magazine writers from around the world, nearly 2,700 of them are here to cover the launch. In addition, approximately 600,000 spectators line the coastal area near the Kennedy Space Center. Arriving by every mode of transportation, they have come from every state in the Union and many foreign countries. Promise of a rebirth in America's manned space program and the dawn of a new era in space transportation awaits.
14, 13, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. program. Go.
Roger, roll.
The roll will put the shuttle on its precise heading toward an imaginary target in space.
Roll program complete.
Roger, roll complete.
They get a status. Fido? Go. Booster? Go. GNC? Go. Eagle? Go. Go at 40, Capcom.
Columbia, Houston, you're go at 40.
The shuttle is now 40 seconds into flight.
Roger, Columbia, on the nice ride. You're lofting a little bit. You'll probably be slightly high at staging.
Negative seats.
Columbia, you're negative seats.
Should anything go wrong, the shuttle is now too high for the astronauts to use their ejection seats.
Columbia, you're go for SRB SEP.
We see SRB set flight.
Roger, on a SEP.
103 converge flight.
Bet. Capcom, let's tell them all the calls are going to be a tad early because of the hot first stage.
Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early.
Okay. And that looks good here.
Stand by, press to Miko.
Columbia, stand by. Press to Miko.
Mark it.
Mark, press for Miko.
Roger, press for Miko.
The shuttle can now continue toward Miko, main engine cutoff.
They like the VAP, Eagle. ECOM.
Let's go, flight.
Capcom, VAPs go. Stand by, negative return.
Columbia, stand by for negative return.
Mark it.
Mark, negative return. And your evap is good.
Outstanding. Sure is. We can confirm it. What a view. What a view.
And single engine rotor flight.
And Columbia, your single engine rota.
Columbia can land safely at the Naval Air Station in Rota, Spain, even if 2 of the 3 main engines should fail. Right now, the engines are generating over 42 million horsepower.
Miko 25, 6,
Miko.
0 up at 200.
Roger, Miko.
And we got Miko confirmed.
Miko
Roger,
confirmed,
Columbia,
and it's
Miko.
right on the money, nominal.
Main engine cutoff. Columbia is now in space, traveling over 18,000 miles per hour.
Okay, we got set.
Roger, we confirm the SEP, Columbia.
The external tank has just been jettisoned and is now falling away from the shuttle back toward Earth. The tank will break up as planned over the Indian Ocean when it comes into contact with the atmosphere. Shortly, by firing the OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System engines, Columbia will achieve orbit. Then one of the most important tests of the mission will be attempted, opening the payload bay doors. The doors must be opened before the end of the 6th orbit to expose the space radiator cooling system. If the radiators cannot be exposed, heat collected from the onboard electronics cannot be released, and the astronauts will have to return home. The OMS burns are successful. Columbia is now in orbit, circling the Earth at an altitude of approximately 150 miles. The payload bay doors will now be opened.
Okay, the port door's coming open now.
Roger, copy.
Well, you are missing one fantastic sight. Boy, that is really beautiful out there.
We appreciate those updates.
Both doors have been opened. The radiators can be deployed to begin dissipating the heat.
The doors are all opened up and hunky-dory. Glad to deploy it right on time.
And the radiators look good.
Okay, we want to show you our own spots here. We do have a few tile missing off of both of them, off of the starboard pod, 3 tile and some smaller pieces, and off the port pod, looks like I see 1 full square and looks like a few little triangular shapes that are missing, and we're trying to put that on TV right now.
Roger, Crip, we can see that good.
From what we can see of both wings, tops and leading edges, though, all those are fully intact.
Within minutes, an assessment is completed on the impact these missing tiles could have on the remainder of the mission. At a news conference later in the day, Flight Director Neil Hutchison answers questions from reporters.
But you asked me if I knew where there were any other tiles that might be loose. The answer is no. And quite frankly, we're not worried about any other tiles being loose.
At this writing, is there anything at all that would lead you to say you might not go for a full duration mission?
Nothing.
Columbia, Houston, you guys did so good, we're going to let you stay up there for a couple of days. Your gopher on orbit.
Spacecraft wants to go for on orbit. This thing is just performing just outstanding.
Roger, we agree with that. And Columbia, Houston, just for your information, you dropped those SRBs right on target, and they were floating just the way they ought to be, and the boats were getting ready to fish them and bring them back.
Okay. The ride that they gave us was pretty neat.
The solid rocket boosters, which separated from the Columbia as planned 2 minutes 11 seconds into the flight, landed on target in the Atlantic Ocean, 151 miles downrange from the launch site. After being towed back to Kennedy Space Center, both boosters will be refurbished and used again in a future shuttle flight. The 3rd and 4th OMS burns are also successful, raising Columbia's orbit to an altitude of approximately 172 miles. For the first television transmission from inside the spacecraft, the crew will give a status report on the mission.
The flight so far has gone as smooth as it could possibly go. We've done every test that we're supposed to do, and we're up on the timeline, and the vehicle has just been performing beautifully, much better than anyone ever expected to do on a first flight, and no systems are out of shape. And it's delightful up here in zero gravity, might add. Of course, we owe this to a lot of people, so we certainly want to thank everyone who has helped get this thing airborne, and can take great pride in it's doing so well right now. Okay, we're switching over to the aft camera here. Yeah, I'd like to echo John's words as I usually do. I guess being the so-called rookie on this flight, I had a thrill from the moment of liftoff all the way up to what we're doing now. It's really been super. The spacecraft has worked as advertised all the way along. I think we've got something that's really going to mean something to the country and the world. This vehicle is performing like a champ, like all of us that have worked so long on it knew that you would.
Okay, sir, we appreciate those comments.
I guess that does it.
That was a good time, and I think you must have practiced. We're just about to lose your ghost song.
Just accident.
Just accident, says Robert Crippen. None of the other events of the day have been accidental. Every test, liftoff, SRB separation and recovery, ET separation and impact, 4 OMS burns, payload bay door latch opening and closing tests, radiator latch deploy and stowing tests have all been successful.
I guess we owe you guys one super attaboy for today. This is fantastic. You worked through a pretty long, hard day, and you're essentially right on schedule, which is going to be close to being a first for the spaceflight biz, I think, for first day activities. It's sure been fun working with you today, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning. I hope you get a good night's rest.
Okay, you guys did super work today. See you mañana.
Roger, thank you. See you tomorrow, guys.
Well, many A job well done by the shuttle space team. We can't say she's sleek and lean, but I'll tell you right now, she's a mean machine. The Columbia, not the kind you smoke. This here's a bird. She gets...
Morning, Columbia. Welcome to day 2.
All right. Appreciate that super wake-up music this morning. Well, we sure enjoyed it. This one a good breakfast.
Today, the astronauts will test onboard systems and also review procedures for tomorrow's landing. A test of the flight control system is conducted by John Young. The flight control system operates Columbia's aero surfaces, the elevons, body flaps, rudder, and speed brake. These surfaces are useless in the vacuum of space, but will be essential tomorrow when the shuttle lands. This will require precision maneuverability, which the aero surfaces provide. Payload bay door cycling tests help ensure that latching and closing procedures can also be done before entry tomorrow. As with every mission, many pictures of the Earth are taken by the astronauts, over 500 on this first shuttle flight. Active volcanoes, cloud formations, alluvial fans, giant whirlpools over 15 miles in diameter, sand dunes 1,500 feet high, running unbroken for hundreds of miles. The high Himalayas, where mountain peaks reach 24,000 feet. And one of the most remarkable space photographs ever taken of the Earth, an area in Iran exposed to wind erosion, which has resulted in these breathtaking silt and sandstone formations that look more like a painting than a desert. After lunch on the second day, the astronauts receive a phone call from the Vice President of the United States, George Bush.
How's it going up there? Everything rocking along all right?
Spaceship is just performing beautifully.
Well, it's great, and everybody views it, I'm sure, just as the forerunner of great things to come. I think your trip is just going to ignite the excitement and the forward thinking from this country, so I really just wanted to call up and wish you the very best.
We certainly appreciate it, Mr. Vice President.
The crew also don and check out the ejection suits they will wear during entry. Young, Crippen, and Columbia pass every test. They are ready for the final phase of the mission, entry and landing. April 14, 1981. NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center on the edge of Rogers Dry Lake Bed in California. A recovery convoy of 24 vehicles and more than 100 personnel are assembling here to power down Columbia after landing. Enormous crowds are also beginning to arrive. A string of traffic 6 miles long waits to enter the base. Thousands more are already here. Close to 500,000 people will eventually be on hand to see the landing. On board, the astronauts suit up for entry. The ascent and orbital phases of the mission have gone extremely well. Now the final phase must be completed. Before that begins,
Columbia, you have a go for payload bay door closing.
the doors, which have been open a total of 47 hours during the flight, must now be closed. Then, using the RCS thrusters, Columbia will maneuver into deorbit burn attitude, head down and backwards, fire the OMS engines one last time, and descend into the Earth's atmosphere.
Nice and easy does it, John. We're all riding with you.
Columbia is out of contact during the OMS burn. Mission Control will not know if this burn was successful until they are in communication with the spacecraft over Australia. It is now over the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world, but from that distance the burn must be precise, so that later Columbia will hit the lake bed target in California.
Columbia, this is Houston through Yargady. We're standing by.
Burn was on time at nominal. It is 110.
Columbia is now committed to entry. With an RCS post-burn maneuver and several firings, it is oriented to a heads-up, nose-first attitude headed toward entry interface. This is where the atmosphere begins, at approximately 400,000 feet.
John, we copied,
From that moment until the shuttle reaches 165,000 feet, it will be in communication blackout, out of touch with mission control for almost 20 minutes. The landing site is almost 4,400 miles from entry interface. Chase planes are preparing to take off. One will call out altitudes and check Columbia for any damage just prior to landing. When the shuttle touches down here, it will be traveling at 216 miles per hour. Right now it's going more than 17,000 miles per hour. Before it lands, it must slow down, lose energy, and it must survive the intense heat caused by traveling through the atmosphere at such a high rate of speed. Several S-turns or roll reversals are used to slow down and maneuver Columbia through the atmosphere. This one is done at 256,000 feet when it is traveling at more than 26 times the speed of sound. This one is done at 208,000 feet. During these two roll reversals, entry heating is most severe, with temperatures reaching 2,500 degrees some places on the vehicle. The aluminum skin will melt at 320 degrees. The silicate tiles must insulate the vehicle from the tremendous heat. Since there is no test facility on Earth to simulate the aerodynamic and structural environment Columbia is in right now, only calculations could be used to predict what would happen during this phase of the flight. The predictions and calculations had to be right.
Hello there, Houston. Columbia's here.
Hello, Columbia. Houston's here. How do you read?
Flying clear, and we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
And we couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
Okay.
The entry trajectory, velocity, and position look good. Columbia is heading for home, now only 470 miles away.
More left RCS, but okay.
Right, we're showing a roll. And John, we're showing you rolling right. Looking good.
Right, normal roll.
We're showing him crossing the coastline flat.
Sunday, April 12, 1981. Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle. 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank. It holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the
50 feet. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Those gears, 10. 5, 4, 3, touchdown. Hook 'em out, skipper. Houston, Columbia's on the roller.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
So how's to take it up in the hangar, Joe?
We're going to dust it off first.
This is the world's greatest all-electric flying machine, I'll tell you that. It was super.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy launch. We'll stop on the Columbia. We'll stop.
The maiden voyage of Columbia has been a success. The astronauts and the vehicle have met or exceeded all 144 flight test objectives. The integrity of Sunday, April 12, 1981, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle, 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank, it holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the pre-dawn hours before launch. An American spaceship has never carried a human crew on its maiden voyage. Sunday, April 12, 1981, Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle, 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank, it holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the pre-dawn hours before launch.
They get a status, Fido. Go. Booster. Go. GNC. Go. Eagle. Go. Go at 40, Capcom.
Columbia, Houston, you're go at 40.
The shuttle is now 40 seconds into flight.
Roger, Columbia, on the nice ride. You're lofting a little bit. You'll probably be slightly high at staging.
Negative seats.
Columbia, you're negative seats.
Should anything go wrong, the shuttle is now too high for the astronauts to use their ejection seats.
Columbia, you're go for SRB SEP.
We see SRB SEP flight.
Roger, on a SEP.
103 converge flight.
Bet. Capcom, let's tell them all the calls are going to be a tad early because of the hot first stage.
Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early.
Okay. And that looks good here.
Stand by, press to MECO.
Columbia, stand by. Press to MECO.
Mark it.
Mark. Press for MECO.
Roger, press for MECO.
The shuttle can now continue toward MECO, main engine cutoff.
They like the VAP, Eagle. ECOM.
Let's go, flight.
Capcom, VAPs go.
Stand by, negative return.
Columbia, stand by for negative return.
Mark it.
Mark. Negative return. And your VAP is good.
Outstanding. Sure is. We can confirm it. What a view. What a view.
And single engine rotor flight.
And Columbia, your single engine rota.
Columbia can land safely at the Naval Air Station in Rota, Spain, even if 2 of the 3 main engines should fail. Right now, the engines are generating over 42 million horsepower.
MECO 25, 6, 0 up at 220.
Roger, MECO.
And we got MECO confirmed.
MECO confirmed, and it's right on the money, nominal.
Main engine cutoff. Columbia is now in space, traveling over 18,000 miles per hour.
Okay, we got that.
Roger, we confirm the step, Columbia.
The external tank has just been jettisoned and is now falling away from the shuttle back toward Earth. The tank will break up as planned over the Indian Ocean when it comes into contact with the atmosphere. Shortly, by firing the OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System engines, Columbia will achieve orbit. Then one of the most important tests of the mission will be attempted, opening the payload bay doors. The doors must be opened before the end of the 6th orbit to expose the space radiator cooling system. If the radiators cannot be exposed, heat collected from the onboard electronics cannot be released, and the astronauts will have to return home. The OMS burns are successful. Columbia is now in orbit, circling the Earth at an altitude of approximately 150 miles. The payload bay doors will now be opened.
Okay, the port door is coming open now.
Roger, copy.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Okay. All right. We won't do the whole thing. It's a 41-minute burn. We probably shouldn't do the whole. I mean, if you guys want to watch the whole thing for Space News, we can watch the whole thing for Space News. I don't have a problem with that. You should have just played this while you were out. I thought about it. I stared at the trap, Ray. What kind of fuel is this? B7's Hydrolox. I'm gonna go. I just finished my Blizzard. It was delicious. I'm just gonna go wash up real quick and use the restroom and grab the water. I'll just. It's still going. We gotta start YouTube. All right, hold up. Let's start up YouTube, and then we will keep staring into the trap. All right, science and technology. It's going here. Going here. Switch that up. We're switched up on Twitch already. Add that. Save. There we go. All right, going live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls, tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. What's going on, everybody? I'm EJ. This is my Space and Rocket Review. This is where we talk about what's going on the daily of what's going on in the spaceflight industry. If you're watching the YouTube VOD or you're watching the YouTube stream, this video just started. But if you're watching Twitch, we were in the middle of something. Here, look. And it's ladies' night at the Palace Hotel Ballroom. When are you going to play Battlefield next? Oh, I'm not sure. You got AOS over on YouTube. Good. All upcoming no tips for ESAR were removed. Hopefully not another long delay. Ugh. So, all right, just if you've seen enough here, this is a 41-minute video, almost 42 minutes of the BE-7 engine firing. This is the Blue Origin BE-7. This is the motor that they're going to use for their landers, and the other day they achieved a 41-minute burn. Are they trying to figure out potential fatigue points in the engine with such a long fire? It really depends. I didn't see anything. I mean, I could tell you what they're doing if they just kept this camera the whole time so I could watch the plume, but I don't know for sure. Knowing Blue, whenever they're doing something different with the rocket engine that even would remotely show off its testing regime, they'd probably switch to the drone shot. But yeah, this is a 41-minute burn on their BE7 engine. Dave Limp posted this over the weekend. You might want to fix the erosion problems right there. Just the last thing that blew burn for 41 minutes was their launch pad. Ooh. Spicy. Question, why such a long test fire? It's a landing engine. If I had to guess, this test was probably testing powered descent initiation all the way down to landing. What would you need a 41-minute landing burn for? Is this low thrust? Yes, it is. Landing engines, you don't need a lot of thrust for a landing engine, dude. Not space, but car history. This was the result of last night's tornadoes. Oh. That sucks. So yeah, she's just still going. I had that freaking ice cream, now my teeth hurt. Damn it. Apollo was a 15-ish minute burn, so the second half of your question still stands. Give me a second, dude. Dude, I had that dentist appointment, man, and yeah. Been taking ibuprofen the whole day. I'll be all right. Pills here. All right, so it's okay, Ugly. Don't worry about it. Give me a second. The pain will go away in a moment. Surprised I need another root canal. But brush your teeth and floss every day. Trust me on this one. You will literally pay for it later. And it hurts a lot. I'd rather be punched in the stomach. Come on, go away. I got a show to do. Let's go. Here, I'll just keep this on while I'm sitting here. Give me a second. The pain got really bad really quick. I'll be all right. It does this. I need a root canal, so when you tweak the nerve, it gets mad. Just give me a second. It's nothing my dentist doesn't know. I hate tooth pain. I hate it so much. At least we got this really nice B7 footage. Just give me a second. I'll come around. Come on, go away. Hey, Mayor, what's going on? Whiskey up here. All right, it's subsiding. Give it a second. Let me show you a little trick to take your mind off the pain. No. Just watch the motor, okay? Herbs. Are they flying into the whatever. I only have to deal with this for another week, though. I don't know, sometimes... Okay, there we go. It's subsiding. It's going away. Sorry, guys. I have another... I don't have an exposed nerve. It's sealed up, but sometimes it still hurts. They found another cavity back here, and it is a cavity. I could feel it, but yeah. Dude's like, they've gotten so many cavities in my teeth from not brushing my teeth like 10, 15 years ago. They found cavities like under gums and stuff. It's not good. And dude, it hurts like a bastard when they go and drill those out. Yeah, I had 2 cavities underneath gums. One is over here, and they saved the guy. My cool dentist saved those teeth. Saved 2 teeth down here, and I had another one up here. Couldn't save it. It's too far into the root. So this one up here, oddly enough, it didn't hurt until he drilled it and sealed it. And my dentist is cool. He sealed it up. But it still hurts sometimes a lot, man. Oh my goodness. That tooth pain came out of nowhere, and I don't even know what I did to tweak it, dude. Oh, that's great, Toothless. Alright. Alright. Pain's going away. Cold shock, I would think. Yeah, most likely. But I just had the blizzard and it didn't hurt, dude. It was only when I drank the water. That's when it really started to get bad. All right. Anyway, let's lock in. So, what's been going on while you've been seeing me writhe in pain here is the BE-7. Blue Origin posted this footage of the BE-7 test firing. So here's Dave Limp talking about it. I've come to appreciate boring hot fires. Our BE-17 recently completed a 2,500 second hot fire test at 10,000 pounds of thrust on a development engine, setting the record for the longest duration turbopump-fed liquid rocket engine hot fire. This built on some of the most rigorous testing in the history of propulsion, with the previous record set by the RS-25 engine that powered the space shuttle. They recorded two 2017 second burn tests in 1988. It's not lost on us that we were following a path those engines blazed, and we were grateful for it. Grab the popcorn and enjoy watching 41 minutes of hot fire goodness. Yeah, but I'm I'm on my way of experiencing no more pain ever again. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's just get to flame out. Oh, wait a minute. They throttled it up at the end. You can see there's other vertical test stands over here. That test cell is empty. This is the Blue Moon engine. Yeah, the B7. There's flame out and shut down. Very nice. That's good, man. That's propulsion technology for the lander. That's what we want to see. Still wondering exactly how Blue is going to get it there, but, you know, hey, whatever. All right, let me compile the rest of the space links, the space news links here, and we will go from there. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Sorry I spent the first, 10 minutes of space news just sitting here going, ah. A good amount from over the last 2 days. All right. All links are compiled. Let's go. Blue will get it there, step by step, explosively. Speaking of explosions, Vandenberg Space Force Base posted this. 2 legacy structures at historic Space Launch Complex 6 were safely cleared to make way for a new era of spaceflight. With an out grant issued by the Space Force in 2025, SpaceX is now modernizing this pad to support next-generation space lift operations. Yep, don't like that. They say one type of pain can lessen another. Yep. Did you see that the A3 Blue Origin lander demo will use hypergolics instead of cryogenic propellants? I have not seen that, Andrew. I would really like a source for that. Embrace the future. This pad was the future, Paul! It was the future, okay? Where's a good picture? See? It was the future. We decided it didn't want to be the future, and we chose a different future that involves it getting blown up. Was, not is. Why you gotta say it like that? Stop it. Gerbil guy, did you have a super chat in there? Some beer money for going through tooth pain. It's the worst. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it, man. The only way, all right. Let me put it to you like this: the only way I'm gonna be cool with this is if that becomes a Starship pad. That is the only way I'm gonna be okay with this. Spaceflight Now interview following Artemis 3 announcement. Okay.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Aaron Thomas, Tier 1 3 months in advance. Thank you very much. Scott Manley also discussed it in a recent video. Oh, okay. EJ, it's 2067. It's gone. You have to let go. It's not 2067. Oh. Dude, the reaction that I had to that yesterday is absolutely legitimate. I just, oh, no, come on, man. No, old busted hotness. Pasted the clip above. I don't want to watch it, dude. I don't want to watch that. Man.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Shogun, 21-month resub. So yeah, Slick 6 is demolished. So SpaceX has the lease on Slick 6. And we don't know exactly what they're we don't know exactly what they're going to do with it. We've heard Falcon. But like I said, if it's Falcon, I'm going to be a little upset. Like, you're going to demolish all that cool stuff just for Falcon. Starship at Slick 6 would avenge it. Yes, absolutely. Now, sorry for your loss of tooth bangs. It's all right, Vash. It's okay. Can't see it being anything other than a Starship pad. Wouldn't they build the pad for a Falcon? Why would they build a pad for a Falcon family rocket? Because the only tentative plans that we've really seen, guys, are there for Falcon Heavy. For Falcon 9 operations. I've seen nothing to suggest otherwise, which kind of sucks, but not a casino. Man, why'd you got to go and bring that up? If it's for Falcon, does that really mean it's going to get maybe 5 to 7 years of service? Yeah, for like maybe one launch a year. Why even build a new pad for a rocket that will be done in a couple of years? Yeah, that's what I don't get. If they're guys, if they're going to be using Slick 6 for Starship, they're staying very tight-lipped about it. So, where is Space Launch Complex 6? It's over here in California. It's just outside of Lompoc, California, where Vandenberg Space Force Base is. This is the major United States West Coast launch site. Slick 6 is right here. This was a Titan 3 launch pad initially, and then it was converted to a space shuttle launch pad after that. Never launched a space shuttle because the Air Force pulled out of the space shuttle program in 1986 after Challenger, after spending $2 billion in 1980s money building a brand new pad and all the supporting facilities for a shuttle. Just putting it out there. And then it was used for Athena rockets, and then finally Delta IV found a home here at Slick 6. And when the last Delta IV launch went out, SpaceX took over, and they just demolished the service structure right there and the 2 assembly buildings. Because the government paid for vertical integration. You could have used that, the mobile service tower, you know, just saying. Thank you for saying it correctly. Yeah, no problem, Knight. How many customers are there for polar orbit stuff? Vandenberg you can hit lower inclinations. You can hit about as low as a 40-degree inclination. They could launch stuff to the ISS from Vandenberg if they really wanted to. You'd have to go out here and then cross the peninsula. Just do a little dogleg left. They've launched Starlink satellites into Starlink orbits, which are 54 degrees inclined. The ISS is at 51. You could get as low as 40 degrees here, launching out of Vandenberg. So, yeah, end of an era. I've studied those buildings a lot personally because I really like the space shuttle, and Vandenberg, the way Vandenberg set up shuttle operations, I think was a really, really, really great idea. The Vandenberg pad had the shuttle being assembled directly on the pad, no mobile launcher, no crawler. Believe it or not, it was the only purpose-built shuttle pad. It was the only purpose-built one. Everything else was retrofitted onto ex-Saturn V hardware at Kennedy Space Center. This was the only pad that was purposefully built more or less from the ground up for the shuttle program. And it kind of showed like what, a pad that's just purpose-built for the shuttle could be like. And I always thought it was super cool because of it. And guys, I don't know about you, but I think it's a good idea to maybe do this, fire up this project again in Kerbal next week. Thank you, Lama. I think we should, I started making this pad in KSP to see if I could actually reuse my shuttle, because it'd be easier to build this than it would, it'd be easier to build this than it would a VAB and 39A, etc., etc. I love that Stoke painted their service tower red. Yeah, Henris, I agree. So, yeah, we'll start that up next week. Yeah, see, they even got as far as doing pad deluge tests. This pad was like 98% done. Or my arrow key can just get stuck down. They even did fitment tests with Enterprise in 1985. Can you just imagine the sounds of Starship coming off the mountains? Yeah. Hey, Doss, what's going on? Why does my arrow key want to get stuck all the time? Yeah, I have this in my shuttle folder with a bunch of other really awesome shuttle pictures. Some of them you can't find on the internet. until now. Hey, Running Bear. You ever wonder how big the external tank is compared to a car? There you go. But yeah, that sucks for Slick 6. I'm not happy about that. But hey, whatever. If it's for a Starship pad, it'd be fine. But the only, like I said, the only operations we've seen from SpaceX are to build a Falcon Heavy pad basically right here and have a horizontal integration facility built right here so they can roll Heavy out, and then they launch Heavy sideways on the trench, which is stupid, but whatever. Is that a Crown Vic? Yep. Why'd they 86 the pad after Challenger? The Air Force pulled out of the shuttle program after denoting well over 50% of the stakeholder expectations for the program, and decided to go back to launching Titan rockets. Phil Sloss also discussed the descope and removal of the cryo system and propulsion systems from the Artemis 3 lander demo. Why do you prefer this design versus the KSC design? You can put the orbiter together faster. It's not built around retrofitting Saturn V architecture. It's a purpose-built pad. So you could put the you're stacking right on the pad. You don't have to roll to the pad. And you can integrate payload directly onto the pad with a structure that's no longer there, but the rails for it were still there. The payload changeout room. So check this out. The Air Force at the time wanted the space shuttle to launch their spy satellites into space. Right? Hang on. They wanted to launch their spy satellites into space. So what they did was they built a satellite production and checkout facility here for satellites. And the production and checkout facility is down the hill. It's down the hill from the pad, so it's kind of protected relative. But that didn't stop them from putting a gigantic elevator. And then there used to be a structure right here that rides on these inner rails called a PCR, a payload changeout room. And the PCR could roll into the assembly buildings. Like, if you look at this picture from the deluge test, right, you could see that that center building is basically hollow, right? That's because the payload changeout room could roll right through it. There we go. See? And you could use it to integrate your payloads. And you could, not only that, but you could integrate your payloads without anybody seeing what it is. Why does my arrow key keep getting stuck? There's the PCR moving. There's RPRSF. There's the payload changeout room over there. See it? So they could load spy satellites into this clean room, and this whole clean room moves through the shuttle assembly building, and it could belt right up to the pad with the SAB and the mobile service tower encompassing the stack, so you could integrate inside, which is super cool. Do that all in one shot. See, the PCR rails are right here. Right there and right there. The thing, when I say the thing could roll right up to the space shuttle, I mean it could roll right up to the shuttle. There's the payload changeout room in the attached to the satellite servicing facility. But see how, you know, I know what people are going to say, that's so damn close to the pad. No, it's not. It's down the hill. So, very unlikely to be damaged by anything. See, that whole structure can move. It can move through that door to the pad, which is superbly freaking cool, man. These are really good pictures. Yeah, there's the 90-degree turn on the flame duct. Sound suppression systems. There's a picture of Enterprise on the pad. My arrow key is finally starting to go. That's weird. And it lasted, this keyboard's lasted 15 years of constant abuse. So, whatever. Anyway, that sucks about Slick 6, but, I mean, maybe they'll build a Falcon. I mean, if they build a Falcon Heavy pad there, I'm just going to be a little... Alright. Yeah, we're going to see relatively boring architecture take its place. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, dude. Imagine if anything, everything could have slid sideways and we had 3 pads next to each other. Yeah. You could have made the structures protective. Doesn't make sense. Also, ESAR is returning back to their cave. All their NOTAMs are gone. I'm not getting a good feeling here. They shouldn't be having off-nominal behavior in your fluid systems on the second launch. Then again, probably changed plumbing around after their last explosion. Something's not something-ing at ESAR, and I don't know what it is. We don't have enough information to be able to say one way or the other. So in other SpaceX news, CRS-34 returned from the space station. It undocked from the ISS and splashed down yesterday morning, which is pretty cool. That marks the 34th completed Dragon resupply mission. We didn't really get any shots of the splashdown, I don't think. Something is not something-ing. Dean, I don't have any other way to put it. Look. During their last attempt, or 2 attempts ago, on their second launch for the Spectrum rocket, they got the clock, they got it to 0, and nothing happened. So it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Nothing happened. And then their sound suppressor turned on and hosed down the entire back end of the rocket. And since then, they have said they had a leaky COPV on their second attempt for the second flight. And then their third attempt for the second flight was the other day, and they didn't even get within 90 minutes of a T0 before they said their fluid systems were not acting correctly again. And, yeah, they went radio silent. They pulled all the NOTAMs. You have never seen the power it takes to get to orbit in visual format. Sean, yeah, the NG4 explosion. Yeah, you ever want to know how much energy a rocket has to get up there? That's how much. And, dude, that's enough energy to get 40 tons up there. That's about New Glenn's payload capacity, give or take, about 40 tons. That was 40 tons. Imagine the Saturn V. Saturn V is 120 tons. Stargazer is about to land at Mojave. Oh. Let's take a look. There it is. So, that's an L-1011 TriStar carrying the Pegasus orbital rocket. This is not the launch, but they just landed on runway 12 at Mojave. That is carrying Catalyst Space mission extension vehicle to boost the Swift Space Telescope. That is the last launch for Pegasus here, guys. That and the last flight for this plane. This is a well, shoot, man. That plane is. It's from 1974. I know that. So, oh man, that thing's old. 52 years old. It's the only airworthy Lockheed TriStar in existence. When is the Pegasus launch? Give me 1 second. The Swift Boost mission is June 27th at 5 a.m. Stargazer will fly out over the Pacific, get the right flight azimuth, and drop and fly Pegasus. I'm not sure if that's going to be live streamed or not. But yeah, there you go. It was at Wallops, at Northrop Grumman's facilities at Wallops Island. Took off near Chincoteague. And it landed in Mojave in preparation for this mission next week. The first wide-body airliner was in an L-1011. Yep. I wonder when we'll start getting ASB data for transatmospheric craft. Yeah. Why go so far out, though? Why couldn't they fly the mission from Wallops? Because they don't want you to see, John. They said, oh, that guy John Clark is there. Screw that. We're going to the other side of the country. No, they can hit the right flight azimuth for the Swift Observatory out in the Pacific a little bit easier. But yeah, thanks, Rocky Guy. Thanks for letting me know about that. That's cool. But yeah, TriStars, man. TriStars are the better tri-jet, not that sack of crap that is the DC-10 MD-11. I hate those planes. Terve. Rema. Because Swift is in a very specific orbit, 20.6 degrees inclined. 20.6. So the thing that it's boosting is the Swift Space Observatory. Which is in a decaying orbit. They're gonna attach what Pegasus launches to the back of this thing and boost it. It is a prototype for a potential mission that might be able to boost Hubble in the future. That is why you call MD-11s scrap. I don't like MD-11s. They're cool looking planes, but I don't like them. Actually, to be honest, to be 100% honest with you guys, I think tri-jets are stupid. There, I said it. There was a good NASA presser yesterday going over the mission. Cool. It was launched in November 2004 on a Delta II. Whoa. How dare you? 2 years planned, 21 years operational. They weren't at the time you did. No, they're piles of junk. They're piles of junk. They're you know, people are going to be like, man, why are they piles of junk? Why are they piles of junk? Because that's the best wide body airliner and it's not close. Okay. All right. Okay. It is. Come on, bro. It's the best. It's the best one. Okay. Hail to the Queen, baby. Wasn't the UPS crash a DC-10? No, it was an MD-11. UPS 2976. Also, tri-jets became a thing due to a quirk of regulations, not a quirk of engineering. I never said I didn't know why they didn't exist. I just said that they're dumb. Because they're dumb. But if I'm going to have to choose, TriStar is a way better looking plane. Lockheed don't miss. Don't you mean the 1011 like Scott said? No, I don't. That's a nice plane, boy. Is that a Huffy? Look at that. It's got an S-duct like a Formula One car, man. Wait a minute. F-350 dually stair truck. Rocket Guy, do we have any more pictures of this by any chance? Like, where did we get this picture? Do we have any more pictures of the plane, boss? Ooh, Pegasus integration. Very nice. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Some of the NSF guys got it. That's right. So Chris probably posted it. Hold up. Shut up. Shut it. Nice. 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 POS truck, you get the hell out of here. OBS Fords are one of the best trucks Ford ever made, and anybody else can get bent. Look at this booster. Wasn't the L1011 also the first commercial airliner to use fly-by-wire? I don't know about that. It was one of the first airliners to use an INS, though. Nice. Nice. Falcon Heavy. Nice. Nice. White Interstage. Welcome back, Block 4. Nice. That's Bay 7, and that's Bay 8. You can tell because of the way it is. And that's pretty neat. Also, yard truck. Just sent the 3 batch photos. Oh. Oh, well, that's good. Oh, very nice. Oh, very nice. What's with the White Interstage? It's a Falcon Heavy core, dude. Yeah. Yeah. 8 lugs, baby. 8 lug with the offset. No front wheel drive. That's a 4x2. 4x2 pickup truck. It's a just medium or no short wheelbase dually. Very nice. Very nice. Probably got a 460 in it, dude. Yeah. So, guys, all right, back to space real quick. That Falcon Heavy center core does not have, it doesn't have grid fins. It doesn't have landing legs. It's just the attachment points for the side boosters, 9 engines, and that's pretty much it. You know, a lot of people say, oh, Block 4, Block 4, Block 4. Falcon Heavy's center core was always based off of the Block 4 architecture. Not a lot of people know that. It's not a Block 5 booster. It never has been. If it was a diesel, it would say, that's right. Is that one for the Nancy Roman mission? That would be my guess. Yes, that is the next Falcon Heavy launch. The next one is launching the Nancy Grace Roman telescope on net August 30th. Do you prefer the white or the black interstage? I don't care. Falcon. Full reuse is where it's at. So, the black or the white interstage? I prefer no interstage. Reject interstages. Accept hot staging rings. If I'm gonna go with Argon, I like the way Block 5 looks. So the darker interstage is where it's at. This one is from Kyle, and it's a really cool angle. Oh, yeah. This is from Kyle H. at Launch Heavy Media. Long wheelbase. 4x2 F350. Air truck, baby. Bro, there's a lot of stuff going on in this picture that I like. There's a lot going on in Kyle's picture that I like. These are 3 things I'm quite fond of. Rockets, airplanes, and ratty old pickup trucks. There's a lot going on here that I like. Keep it in your pants. No. The job is to launch the Pegasus, remember? Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the Swift Boost mission is scheduled on June 27th at 5 a.m. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. Now, there's another Falcon 9 that's vertical at Slick 4E in Vandenberg, which is down the street from Slick 6. This is for the L179 mission. L179 mission is actually scheduled to go off a little bit later. Well, it's early tomorrow. 4:40 a.m. I want to, guys, but that's unlikely. This is L-179 is the proliferated architecture. Proliferated architecture is a reconnaissance satellite constellation built by SpaceX and Northrop Grumman for the National Reconnaissance Office to provide imaging and other reconnaissance capabilities. The NRO's proliferated system will increase the timeliness of access, diversify communications pathways, and enhance resilience. It will provide greater revisit rates and increased coverage and eliminate single points of failure. With hundreds of small satellites on orbit, data will be delivered in minutes or even seconds. This will ensure the analysts, warfighters, and civil agency NRO services receive actionable information faster than ever before. Now, I know what people are going to ask. Isn't that just Starlink? And the answer is yes. And the next thing is that I have no idea why this is different. It's probably DoD, special DoD Starlink satellites with Northrop Grumman optics on it. I have no freaking idea. I don't know. I don't want to know, because if I knew, I'd be in jail. Starlink, the spy sat. That's my guess. Is the launch time for the Swift booster when TriStar lifts off or when Pegasus detaches? The L-1011 is stage 0. It's your Mechazilla, so to speak. Okay. It has started raining. Okay, I just had a little bit of a brainwave. You know, Stargazer launches the Pegasus, right? Did it hurt? No, that was probably the 2 thing. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Listen to this. It's raining. A lot. Ooh, that's nice. Hold on. Hold on. Shut up for a second. Man, weather guy, that band really intensified as it got closer to the ocean, huh? Wow. There's the deluge. Here's ignition. Yep. 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 Anyway, how many times do we have to tell you this? You can't do streams inside a Starship's flame bucket. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. I just had a crazy idea. A plane that launches an SSTO, and then catches an SSTO and lands. It's so bad. That's such a bad idea. And but also, think about that. Please stop. No. It's stupid. Let's build it in Kerbal. Nah, you can't. You can't catch stuff with the plane. The TriStar I builds. Yeah, Snackless, I know. Sawyer showed that to me. Your tooth has affected your brain. Can you imagine? It has it as, it has an SSTO like a small thing, not anything crazy, right? But the SSTO is a lifting body, and it shoots it off up into space, right? It gets you up into low Earth orbit, and then the lifting body comes back down, right? And then somehow, I mean, you'd need to get level flight, but somehow this thing catches it out of the air. That's so stupid. That's such a dumb idea. But also, that'd be pretty cool. You 100% shot a rocket inside of a plane's cargo bay on stream before. Yeah, maybe I did. Let's bring forth the age of parasite space planes. We've gotten much better at doing it. We'd be able to do it with a reinforced refueling boom. What if starships... Hear me out. No. Hear me out. What if Mechazilla flew? That sounds awful dangerous and heavily over-engineered. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Anyway. All right, Stargazer. That's cool. So L-179 is poised on the pad and ready to go. Let's see, let's take a look here. Booster flying is booster 1103, a new booster on its third flight, 30-day turnaround out of Vandenberg. That, once again, that's launching in about 9 hours from now in the middle of the night, and I'm not going to be here for it, but I wanted to tell you about it, which is pretty cool. All right. Let's get through the rest of this stuff here real quick before we get to that. So this is coming from NASA KSC. What do we got? The official start of building the Artemis 3 powerhouse. The first of 4 RS-25 engines for the Artemis 3 core stage is now inside the vehicle assembly building at Kennedy. These powerful engines each provide 2 million pounds of thrust at liftoff and will help propel Orion on humanity's next chapter of lunar exploration to low Earth orbit. Is this what you want? I mean, kind of, but no. Well, that's good that the engines are in the VAB. That's pretty sweet. I think that, okay. I guess not. Okay. These powerful engines each providing 2 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. Yep. New version. I guess so. This just popped up in my feed. Sludge says that Jared Isaacman bought up to 50 million in a SpaceX linked stock just weeks before the record IPO. And here he is directly replying to it, saying, I bought Shift4 stock, the company I started 27 years ago, that serves predominantly hotels, restaurants, and stadiums because it was trading at a multi-year low and permissible under my ethics agreement. I sold all SpaceX stock, any indirect equity exposure to it, and any other aerospace-related companies 18 months ago when I was first nominated for the job. $1 billion sacrifice I was happy to make to serve my country. I suspect I will be worth much less coming out of public service than going into it, and that is completely fine. Like I said, man, I disagree with Jared about the U.S. stuff, but he's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. Just absolutely dunked on straight up. That's awesome. Yeah, we like Jared. Jared's all right. He's all right. We like him. He's just absolutely just slam dunked right in your face. I love that guy. That's funny as hell. Owned. Yeah, I know. Spoiled, right? And Sludge got community noted, too. Kit ratio. Did he ratio that? Oh, he ratioed them hard. 124 to 3,300. Wait a minute. Wait. Get a lot of this guy. That's the best part. Oh, I love this timeline. That's great. We need more big boys, though. We already talked about that. They're in Massachusetts. Where in Massachusetts? Ashfield. That's all the way out in the country. It's got to be out west. Never heard of that. That I've never been to that place. And I've been all over this state. I ain't never been out there. That is way out in the mountains, dude. That is extremely remote for Massachusetts, man. He's one of yours. Yeah, nonpartisan. Okay. Sure. Anyway, next bit of news here. All right. The launch of United Launch Alliance Atlas V 551 carrying the next batch of production satellites for Amazon Leo, Leo 8, is planned for Thursday, July 2nd, pending range approval. 29-minute launch window opens at 12:24 a.m. Eastern. That's the last Atlas V 500, dudes. For driving 2 hours to the Holyoke Mall his whole life. Oh, damn, dude. You didn't need to grill him more than Jared did. Damn. Well, early or late day. So, fellas, I just would like to take this point in time to remind everybody that the 27th through the 3rd, I'm taking off. This is my middle of the year week that I always take off. Just that is my detox time. And I need your boy needs a lot of detox after the last like 8 months. Yeah. So that is my reset time. We hit it hard basically after that. So with that all being said, that's midnight, July 1st into July 2nd. If it's the last Atlas V 500, I'm gonna be here for it. If it goes any further than that, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, I'm gone. You're not. I'm going far away from my computer for a little bit, and I'm not coming back until the 6th. So, yeah, I won't miss the last Atlas V. I won't miss the last Atlas V launch. I did say that right. I won't miss it. There are 6 other Atlas boosters around, but the only boosters that'll be left after this one are Atlas N22 boosters, so not 22. Yeah. Atlas N22 are the ones that launch Starliner. Those are the only Atlas V's left in existence after this one. I don't want this. I just want a picture of the stupid booster. Is this hard? Whatever. It doesn't, you know, Nope. Let's just go to ULA's page. How about? So these are the only versions of the Atlas V after this last one. This is the last Atlas V 551, dude. I remember when the first one launched. I wasn't really paying attention to spaceflight too much, but I remember seeing it on Discovery Channel. Search engines are becoming more and more useless. Dude, I can't just click on a picture and just look at that picture. You have to go to the web page, and then everybody prevents embedding, so you can't like just look at the picture. And yeah, Google is like, "Hey, you want my AI to make you a picture of it? We can make the AI do it." And I'm like, "No. No, I don't. I don't want you to do that at all. Please, I just need a picture of Atlas from ULA's page." But you sure about that? I'm sure. Anyway. So yeah, that's the only Atlases left will be there's 6 of that type of booster. This is the last okay, space shuttle. Nice. This is the last one with 500 series fairing. So that's the Atlas with 5.4 or 5.2 meter fairing. The hat, sorry. Look at a picture of the AI. We can do that. Yeah, I got a drone and fly the GoPro Sundance Film Festival. Sorry. Compared to some of the prompts that like AIs give nowadays, Blazemonger, Clippy was actually like borderline helpful. Clippy was borderline helpful. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Wish we could get an Atlas in the Rocket Garden at KSC. That would be nice, but yeah, probably not. It sounded like Gru trying to steal the moon. Yeah, that's what that was. Okay. All right, so that is scheduled for, yeah, July 2nd, 12/24. Guys, provided I haven't gotten on a plane or anything, I'll be here for that. We'll probably get an N22 Atlas with the way Starliner is going. Yeah, if only they would update us about what's going on. That would be really nice. Really appreciate it if, we knew what was going on with Starliner. That, that would be useful. That's all I'm saying. Like, just a little bit useful. Do you think Starliner will actually fly people to the ISS, or is this the inevitable given that they have a contract? See, Lava, okay, if you want to talk about it, you know, we haven't talked about Starliner in a little bit, and I'm frankly kind of amazed that we haven't gotten an update about what's going on with it. Here's where I'm at, dude. Here's where I'm at. Look, Boeing was actually pretty straightforward about what happened with this thing. They didn't do their thermal analysis correctly on their thrusters, and they had improper pulse width modulation, and that was causing the thrusters to conduct too much heat, and it was conducting too much heat into the fuel lines and potentially blowing poppet seals. Now, one, that's something that happened to the space shuttle, and these thrusters are derived from the space shuttle, so that's dumb that that even happened in the first place. Two, thermal analysis doesn't take this long to fix. It doesn't. That second one is my big thing. Look, I get it, Boeing goes slow, etc., etc. It's very interesting that they're just like changing pulse width modulation, especially after flight data, is not that big of a deal. That is something that easily is fixed. And we know it was easily fixed because the Starliner CFT came back down intact. So the thrusters obviously work. You'd have to change your fuel mapping settings. You know, I say, oh, just change your fuel map settings like it's some easy thing to do. No, the thing that we're dealing with here is pulse width modulation. Reaction control system thrusters fire in pulses. They go think like a light bulb turning on and off. That's how they work. It's on or off, and that's about it. And they vary how much they turn on and off to get different amounts of thrust. So if you want more thrust, it's if you want less thrust, it's right? Pulse width modulation is the time between pulses, okay? Starliner's pulse width modulation was too high. Now, the reason why it was too high is because the reaction control system thrusters on most spacecraft are made out of a material that rejects heat passively over time. What does that mean? The reaction control system thruster, they fire it, it gets hot, right? It gets hot, it starts glowing, and that emissivity, right? The glowing is actually what's cooling the motor. But the thing is, you're not going to, you can't convect. You're in the vacuum, right? We've been talking about this a lot with Starlink satellites. You can't convect heat. You can't use air. There's no air. You can't, you can use conduction to absorb heat, but if you use conduction, your fuel lines start getting warm and you start boiling your hypergolic propellants in your fuel lines before they get to the rocket engine. I don't think I need to explain why that's a bad idea. I don't think I need to explain that one. You know, nitrogen tetroxide getting heated up is very volatile. It gets sticky. We'll just say it gets sticky and leave it at that. It can make explosions. All right, so you don't want to convect, you don't want to conduct. So the rocket engines, the RCS use radiation. When the engine glows, it's actually passively cooling itself by radiating heat out through glowing red hot metal. The light is actually radiating out. Radiating the heat out in the form of light. The thing is, you can only do that with that thing for so long before it'll start conducting. And if it starts conducting, it'll start melting things. We don't want that. Like it blowing a poppet seal and causing a fuel leak, causing a boiling fuel leak. That's bad. That's what happened with CFT. We don't want that. That's no good. That's why the NASA was like, no, you know. How are you liking the Scotland fins there? Oh, they're great, Bandit. I'll talk to you about them in a second. So they were pulsing the thrusters too much. They had a control scheme put in that was pulsing the thrusters too much and causing them to conduct. And that caused a fuel leak, a potential fuel leak. That shouldn't take that long to fix. I will tell you that right now, that's probably one of the, like in terms of things that are wrong with your spacecraft, the more low-hanging fruit. even to like revalidate your thermal models and go from there. You have flight data to corroborate it, and you got a capsule back. There's no way. The thing is that their the thrusters that were malfunctioning burned up in the atmosphere because of the jettisonable service module. So it might be a little bit more difficult. But the fact that we haven't gotten any updates about it or anything tell me two things. One, that they ran into something worse. There's something else wrong with this thing that they're not telling us. Now, here's my thing. And we know Jared. We know that he classified Starliner as a Type A mishap. And we know that he's very transparent about this stuff. So if there was something wrong, he would probably tell us. He'd probably have a press conference and tell us. But I don't know for sure. Right? The other thing, and I'll admit this is a little bit far-fetched. I mean, what else could it be? Like, the other thing I was going to say is that they fixed everything. Starliner is ready to go, but they don't. No, that logic doesn't make any sense. I was going to say, it's good to go. They fixed it really fast, but NASA is dragging their feet because they don't trust it. I highly doubt that that's what's going on, but that might be what's going on. I would very much think that it's probably the first one. They probably found something else that they could probably make a little bit better for the next flight, and they're probably doing it. He had a good dig at Starliner during the A3 crew announcement. So, yeah. Didn't they have to redo all their wiring because of a flammability issue? That problem was solved by it, and that was actually dude, the interesting thing is that problem was actually found by Boeing themselves, and they owned up. They didn't own up to it. It wasn't their fault. They went with a flame resistant tape from a manufacturer, right? And the manufacturer said, oh yeah, it'll take this temperature. It'll take, I don't know, let's just pick a number, 154 degrees Celsius. It'll take that. That's no problem. And Boeing's like, okay, cool. And then they went to do qualification tests for the wire harness in the heating regime, and the tape caught on fire. The tape that the manufacturer said would not catch on fire caught on fire. Now, is that Boeing's fault for not checking the tape? Sure, absolutely. But also, if the manufacturer says it's not going to fail under these circumstances and it fails under the circumstances, that's not entirely your fault either. If they fixed it, they would be sounding trumpets, yeah. So Byte Builder, that problem was actually solved. They took all the tape off and reapplied it with tape from a different supplier because that one was full of crap. That's what happened, dude. Yeah, that's not, I would say that that's not the fault of Starliner. SpaceX has been bitten by crappy contractors before too. That's what caused CRS-7. The strut to hold a COPV and failed at like 10% of its rated load and caused CRS-7 to find the bottom of the ocean. I watched that launch live and I freaked out because that was the first rocket rut I'd ever covered on stream. If you have to turn around and retest your supplier's products, there are problems. Well, they didn't, but they caught it in testing. Could the crews be refusing to fly on it? Yeah, it's possible. Unlikely, but possible. I mean, once again, guys, like I foresee two kind of possibilities here. It's either NASA dragging their feet because the astronauts don't trust it or anything or something, or they found something else wrong. I don't know for sure. What wiring harnesses are we talking about? So Nubius, these were the harnesses on the capsule itself. Yeah, Glux, I don't know. The thing is that we haven't heard anything from the Starliner program. they're either ready and NASA's like, no, you're not, or they're not ready because they found something else wrong. I don't know for sure. It's hard to say. Because there's just, dude, like, once again, the silence is kind of deafening in this matter, isn't it? I don't know. Tough to say. Anyway, check this out. This is coming from Relativity, who we watch their updates every once in a while. Relativity posted more missions, more science, more discovery. Today we're launching the Interplanetary Sciences program to advance deep space science missions through foundational technologies and payloads. Proud to partner with NASA, industry, and academic institutions on a science orbiter mission to Mars in 2028 for philanthropic customer. For philanthropic customer? Hi, yes, it's me, billionaire philanthropic customer. What we discover belongs to everyone. All scientific data will be released to the world, fostering open collaboration. Gee, look at all these things that aren't launching rockets. I will say the core does look good, though. Hey, Comp Nerd. Hey, Tan, what's going on, dude? Philanthropic. Yeah, yes, Mr. Philanthropic. Yeah. I don't see an engine section yet. Is that not it right there? And also, that's Jared. Yeah. That's cool. A science orbiter mission to Mars. You want to hear something wild? What's up, Billy? I was told today they want to try and bang one off before the end of the year. Relativity? That's an ambitious goal. That's ambitious. That's all I'm saying. Good luck. Hey, Shaw. Today you became an owner of a home. Wallpaper is freaking walls. You bought a house, dude? Congratulations, man. Does it have a garage? Better have a garage, dude. Have a garage? This is important. Two-car garage. Nice. Nice. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, wallpaper is going to suck to take down. Yeah. Painting over it works for a little while. But you'd only really want to do that if you hate yourself. But yeah. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Well done, Twitch viewer. Even YouTube chat says congratulations. You have no garage. Some concrete, though. Never mention UAPs. Witness, that's not really what I do here, man. They're around. They're out there. Do I know what it is? Nope. Is it probably ours? Yup. I mean, dude, we had the SR-71 Blackbird in the 1950s. All right, come on. There's declassified photos of like the SR-71 next to a modern car from the 50s, and it. Here, actually, it's not the SR-71. There's a picture of an XB-70 on the ramp. I gotta show you this. Like. All right, check this out. That's the XB-70. All right, that's the XB-70 Mark I. Right, look at that plane. This is the early 60s. All right, look at the plane. Nice, right? You see it on the runway. This is, you know, they have servicing vehicles out. Look at the damn truck that's parked underneath it. Does that look like it belongs in the same timeline at the same time as that thing? Look, now take a step back and look at all the other vehicles, dude. What's wrong? Hey, Rosebud, $5. Has everyone forgotten how embryonic space exploration is, or as humans, all things take time? I agree. So, Witness, is there stuff out there? Yes. Is it most likely ours? Yes. See the XB70? The XB70 is quite actually a half-century old. Does that plane look like it's from the 1950s? Does it look like it's from the 1960s? Hell no, dude. What's wrong? That truck doesn't belong to you. Yeah. Dude, look at that. There's a freaking... What is that? A Mac? You got a... What looks like a... 53, 54 Ford right there. There's a freaking Mack truck right there. That's a Mack truck. I think that's a Mack A series. Like, dude, look at some of these things, man. Oh, look at all these little things. So busy now. It's like a Studebaker over there on the servicing vehicle. Like, brother, yeah, I don't really deal with UAPs. That's just kind of my generic UAP spiel. I'm not gonna lie. That's not really my... That is not my department. Where the rocket comes down is not my department. The bucket truck would be nice for gutter repair. So, yeah. Not really in a 76 subsonic. 76, no. The XB70 is from the early 60s, dude. I still think the XB70 is a good idea for what it's worth. The compression lift at high speed. Just saying. I personally think that the XB70 could go faster than the SR71, but... Oh, that's another good one. Look at this. We got a F101 over there, and then you have a... Ooh. Well, I'm not sure if that's an A12 or an SR71. But look at the damn Caddy over there. No, is that a Caddy? Could be a Ford or a Mercury. Look at the cars. The cars don't look right. It doesn't look like it belongs there. No, King, I haven't. Single seat is an A12. Yeah, there you go. I mean, dude, look at the Dodge over there. That Dodge quad cab long box. First of all, that's actually kind of cool. Second of all, that's like a 62 or a 63 Dodge truck. Even the F101 looks out of place compared to this thing. Like, oh, there's another one over there. But see what I'm talking about? Look at the freaking car. Can you imagine what, dude? They probably have stuff that that we just don't get. Just like in the 1950s, in the 1950s, ain't nobody gonna understand what a turbo ramjet does. Like, there's no way. Can you imagine what we have now? And I know someone's gonna be like, "Well, we have hypersonics now." Dude, they probably have planes that can fly hypersonic. Probably have planes that can fly Mach 10 all day. I'm not even entirely sure why you'd need that at this point, but. The Avro Aero rollout got pushed off the front page by Sputnik. Jeez, that's weird, dude. Wasn't there an SR-71 that was flying around a few months ago? I don't know. If there was, I haven't heard about it. I know that the F-117s, they just quietly reactivated those. If it wasn't for the tree huggers, think of what we would have had nowadays. I don't necessarily blame hippies, goalie, to be 100% honest with you. I think the end of the Cold War kind of killed that whole generational run of like aerospace projects. Don't worry, it's changing now, for better or for worse. But anyway, yeah, Relativity, it looks like they got a full core out and they got a Jared too. That's pretty sweet. We like Jareds. You think the F-117 was ever retired? Yes. It was retired for maybe 3 or 4 years. But they stored the entire F-117 fleet at Tonopah, out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. The entire fleet was stored there because they didn't want anybody getting any of the materials that were used, and then they just started flying them again. Interesting, Aquex. What is that, Lumprod? Imagine a plane that flies so fast it has to use its lift to keep itself from going into orbit. Where do I go to find this fleet? I don't know. They're stealth. How you're never going to find them. They're stealth. You can't find them. See? There's nothing here. Nothing. It's all empty. Empty. The opposite of full. See? Nothing there. There might be 2 or 3 or 8 right there. I don't know. Your checking account balance is also stealth. Yeah. Yeah. So, next bit of news here, dudes. Check this out. So yesterday, an Ariane 6 rocket launched Amazon Leo satellites up into space. This was the first Ariane 6 to utilize the P-160C boosters. P-160s are uprated boosters from the P-120Cs that were on the original Ariane 6 flights. P-160. Watch this. How fast do you want to go? Oh, I want to go fast. Watch the grab turn. That's a lot of power, man.
La propulsion est nominale.
La propulsion nominale. That's some tape.
Trajectoire nominale.
Trajectory is good. Dude, look at that turn, man. She is going. Le tape. Le tape. Oui, oui, monsieur. Le
La propulsion est nominale.
Propulsion nominale.
Passage transonique.
Oh, yeah.
Trajectoire nominale.
Man, look at that turn. That's an aggressive hike into orbit, man. Yeah, like that looks like the shuttle. Exactly. Very nice.
La trajectoire est nominale.
TWR estimate? Let me watch. Let me see it go.
Allumage ESR et décollage.
1.3, 1.3, 1.4 all day. Dude, she's boogieing.
1. Allumage ESR et décollage.
Damn, that thing is fast. Probably don't drive. Man, that's quick, dude. Yeah, 1.3 to 1.4 TWR. That the aggressive grab turn is a dead giveaway for high thrust to weight. When you have higher thrust to weight, you can use more of the first stage to go faster instead of going up, because you're already going to go up because you're going fast. Yeah, and then, yeah, the later you see the trajectory freaking change because the upper stages are very, very, very highly optimized. Dude, look at that picture. Oh, I know. Believe me, it's on my list of things to do, Gaw. Oh, yeah, P160s, man. That's, I think those are the biggest single case solid rocket boosters that are flying right now. Single casing. The biggest multi-casing solid rocket boosters are the ones on SLS. What's Starship again? Starship is 1.4 off the pad for the Block 3 version topical. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. The freaking French have the record for biggest single casing SRB flying? Oh. Oh. We should fix that. That's not right. You're right. That is not right, dude. Sacre bleu. That's it. Bring out the AJ260. Yep. We had one, but we chose not to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's still sitting in its test stand. It's not right. It's not right. Send it to Utah to get refilled. That's right. We should do that. We should build an SRB, the diameter of SLS and the length of an SLS SRB. Yeah, if we did and we filled it with HTPB and ammonium perchlorate, it would probably be somewhere in the ballpark of, I don't know, 1,300 tons. I don't know how you're going to move that. There's a reason why the SRBs are moved in segments, because they're really, really heavy. Look at the trajectory in the top right.
Been proposed by the 4 boosters, which are brand new on this version of Ariane 64, the P160C, enhanced boosters with more thrust. We have separated them once they have completed their task, of course, and then separated the fairing. Once we have exited the atmosphere, the satellites are now in a visibility of the deep space. The Vulcan propulsion, the main engine propulsion, has lasted about 8 minutes. After that, we have separated the lower stage to shed up some mass, and then now we are working with the upper stage, which is equipped with the Vinci engine. The Vinci.
Yep, those boosters really push that thing up in the air, so it has time to accelerate before Earth pulls it back in. Yep. That's a pretty hardcore trajectory, guys. I will give it to you. That's not an easy thing to do. So, this is me giving you credit. Also, we need to take that record back. That's really not okay. Do not hump. Yeah, we did a whole thing on the SRB train snack list. It made me want to play Derail, dude. Freaking plane derailed because of that damn, because freaking the FEC train. Ugh. All right. What other news do we got here? Let's see. This is a space news article. Blue Origin begins rebuilding New Glenn pad. Jared's in the H-135 here. Blue Origin has started rebuilding a pad severely damaged in a New Glenn explosion less than 3 weeks ago as it works to resume launches by the end of the year. Okay. So, yeah, Space News decided to paywall all their articles. So, I don't, like, look, I like the guys over at Space News. I think Jeff Faust does a good job here, so I don't want to read an article that's behind a paywall. I know you can, there's ways to get around it. I'm not doing that. I like Jeff Faust too much. Imagine sticking Glenn Stage 2 on top of an AJ260. Does he have a helicopter license too? Jared can fly helicopters, but that's on an H-135, you guys, I might be pulling this out of my tail. That's not the pilot seat. Pilot seat's on the right. Anyway, Blue's trying to rebuild their pad by the end of the year. I still think that's kind of a, I mean, it's an ambitious goal and good luck, but I really don't think you're going to build a pad that's very reliable, let me say, by the end of this year. Cut down New Glenn second stage for SLS would be a great idea, Lord Gugu. The pad is pretty destroyed. Bandit, the whole thing's a write-off, dude. The whole pad's a write-off. You're literally bulldoze the entire thing. Anything within 1/8 of a mile of the blast radius is basically gone. And if it's still standing, it's more or less destroyed. The concrete all around the pad got superheated. You'd be crazy to put anything heavy on it. It'll just fall into it like quicksand. The 3 GS2 tanks are structurally damaged and most likely going to be scrapped. No. Rockets, no. Oh, come on. God. You guys can't catch a freaking break, dude. Oh, that's fricked. That sucks so hard, man. I'm sorry. Hey, Matt, what's going on? That hurts to hear that, dude. GS1 might be bad, too. Is never tell me the odds made out of the same, it's the same type of aluminum, right? We don't need to say which type. It's billet orthogrid stir welded, right? Similar to second stage. That freaking sucks, dude. I'm bumming. That blows. Yeah, well, hey, good on you guys for inspecting them. I kind of I kind of figured that might be the problem. Is this a press release, or do these folks work at Blue? Yeah, they know people that know people, Jack. I trust the judgment. Let me put it to you like that. I trust their judgment. I wouldn't say it out loud on stream if I didn't know it was good info. Like, let me put it that way. What's the loss of a few stages if you don't have a launch pad? Just more manufacturing practice. Ethan's, you know what, dude? That's a good way to look at that. Yep. I guess, I mean, that's all you can do. Just frick it, build more. Frick it, build more. That's really all you can do. Was their pad ever rebuildable? Didn't they have a few scrubs? Blue? Drew, Blue lost their entire pad, dude. Their whole complex is hosed. Time for a rocket garden? That's, dude, I'm like, that rocket science, that legitimately sucks, dude. What a freaking gut punch, man. My heart goes out to second stage team. That freaking sucks. Ugh. Need a place to test them. Where would you test them? Where would you test them? I mean, is the second stage fixture jig, is the test jig okay? I mean, the test jig's steel, it should be fine. Walmart parking lots have lots of space. Believe me, dude, there's plenty of parking lots down the Cape. Plenty of parking lots. Looking at building up the pad again, 39B, or a place at the Rocket Park. If the second stage fixture jig is okay, dude, I'd just say build a damn pedestal and dry fire those frickin' things. Build a milk stool. Just something quick. Like, build it out here or something. Well, not even something quick. Like, maybe build the stand over here. Just pave it out there, build it over there, and build some fuel lines that go to the tank farm. Like, or maybe 12. Maybe pad 12. You just take the first stage fixture jig over there and just put it on a pedestal. Seriously, with a little flame deflector, a type of similar flame deflector that you'd have on a test stand. We have to part, I mean, we have to part out the freaking program at this point. Like, what the hell are those? What the hell are those doing there? When was this picture? April 25th, 2025. Guys, those are Ares 1's SRB hold downs. That's weird. It's not like there's a national aerospace branch with a bunch of GSEs sitting idle that has a friendly director that could be reasonable if asked. If I was Jared, that's what I'd be doing. It's NASA, they're hoarders. Blue has the lease on LC-12. Hellfish. Guys, I just don't see how Blue's gonna get back to building in 6 months, dude. I want them to. That would be awesome. It would be the hell of a comeback story, but I just don't see how this is gonna happen. Especially, dude, second stage test stand is the second. If the test stand's okay, then maybe. But if your 3 GS2s are a write-off, that's a huge kick in the nuts. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Depending on what the damage is, could they reuse the components? Yeah, most likely, but when I hear something like that spoiled, that tells me that the pressure vessel is cooked, so... Yeah. That sucks a lot. But they did get that BE-7 firing, which is pretty cool. Just don't know how that... I mean, that propulsion seems to be working well, so... Sorry, what did I miss? Blue is going to start rebuilding their pad soon, Yum Food, but they lost all the GS2s that were in the HIF are no good. Also, the demolition contractors demoed part of the water system. That was fine. Off to a great start, I see. Oh dear. All right. Let's see how SpaceX is doing. Not great on the day. They closed at 185. Not bad. There was some erratic stock activity today. Went down to 154 briefly on Wealth Simple. Interesting. Yeah. Standard IPO things. Yeah, that's expected from the IPO. Yeah, it's down just a little bit, but this is still way up. I mean, once again, they IPO'd at 135. If you got in on the ground floor, dude, you've already made a lot of money. Dude, whoever got in over here and then cashed out at 218 made dude, let me put it this way. If you had 10 G's and you put it in, you bought in at 135, right? And then you sold at 220, which was the high, like, dude, that's gonna get you like 16 to 17 grand. Oh, I should have done that. They won't let you sell for a year. Yeah. I'm way out of my area commenting on stock, but isn't most of the stock not sellable for a while? Yeah. The shares for the employees are going to be released periodically. The employees that own stock in SpaceX that got stock through options in their salary or in their salaries and stuff, it starts in August, and then it's every couple of months from there. Believe me, this is all hypothetical, but what if you were offered some kind of stock option equity sharing program? Would that do anything for you? I don't know. Maybe. Hey, good luck with your firings. Good luck with your layoffs. I hope your firings go really well. Oh, pleasure's all on this side of the table. That implies you could get more than 10 shares from the brokers if you aren't an insider. Yeah. This is all theoretical, and this is not investing advice because I'm not a stock guy. Look at me. I'm just some punk on the internet. Don't worry about it. I'll tell you how staged combustion cycle works, though. We're using the existing tower as an umbilical tower and adding a lot of structure to the top to close the distance between the rocket and the tower, adding movable access arms. Yeah, rocket science. Honestly, for vertical integration con-ops, that's what I'd do, but I'd be... Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I should say this. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I really am not trying to be a jerk. Without an MST or a VIF or something, a mobile service tower or vehicle integration, or vertical integration facility, the con-ops for New Glenn, for stacking New Glenn vertical are not great. Yeah, me too, geek, right? Yeah, no. What's up, Anna Senpai? What's up, dude? How are you? Like, so say you can get first, second stage vertically stacked umbilicals hooked up from the tower. Are we crowning the payload with a crane? Is that what we're doing? We're gonna crown with just a crane holding your payload fairing up? How are you gonna get up there? Yeah, there you go. Can't see me, right? Like, I that's the part of the con ops that I don't really understand. You're gonna put, right? You're gonna have the first stage and the second stage integrated, right? You're gonna bring them vertical. You're gonna put them on the pad. Now, what do you do about the payload fairing? You could use a crane to put your PLF up there, right? Now what? How do you need people up there to attach it? What are we doing with that? Just a bunch of, I mean, you could do a SpaceX and just have a bunch of wind turbine servicing buckets and go from there, but that's a little sketch. I'm going to say that's a little sketch. There's a lot of stuff that's around there. No, Sawyer, I'm good, buddy. I'm good, man. I wash those beer cans out and I keep them here. There's nothing in them. Ladders and harnesses, I think adding a walkable access arm. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that working. Yeah, that could work. Tower's gonna have a lot of arms. Yeah, what's up, Ryan? It's gonna look like the it's gonna look like the ground umbilical carrier plate from the shuttle program. Here's a good shot. Let me just find it here. This is a shot at Columbia doing fit checks in 1979. It's gonna look like this. This is the umbilical arm and everything for the ground umbilical carrier plate, which is a HAS gas vent for the external tank from the shuttle program. It's gonna look like that. See all that?
3. Go at throttle up.
Electron Sierra 117 months, 117-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna look like that, and there's gonna be swing arms out on the end of that, dude. That's you don't know if that tower can have several arms. Yeah. That's gonna be wild, dude. Yeah, believe it or not, though, guys, the umbilicals are not really, the umbilicals are not the point where I'm like, it's actually like putting the rocket together, like doing the vertical stack. That's, yeah, that's going to be not easy. You have to fix the broken beam first. That's a critical load path for the arms. Well, yeah, of course. I don't know how that tower's still standing, to be honest with you. I think that the only reason that the Complex 36 tower is standing is because on the back side of that tower, there's reinforcement brackets. Here, let me show you. Give me a moment. So if we look at Blue's website over here, see this, whoever decided to put these things over here, see these reinforcement structures? They're on both sides. That's the only reason that tower's standing. If it was just that square going all the way up, it would have fallen over just like the Lightning Tower did. Yeah, see the reinforcements out here? I don't know why they did that, interestingly enough. But yeah, if it was just a square all the way up and it lost a leg, that thing would have fallen. What am I... Hey, Man on Mars, what am I most excited for with Neutron? Anything specific? I'll be 100% honest with you. Once again, not hating on Rocket Lab. Not hating on Rocket Lab. Neutron is taking a little bit longer than they said it would. Now, I understand that everything takes a long time in the aerospace industry, but this rocket was advertised specifically as it shouldn't take a long time to make. It seems like Rocket Lab is having some structural qualification problems with their inner stage. But that happens. You know. Have you seen the moves Dawn is making? I saw them post something the other day. But yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, dudes. All right, we got a good 2 hour 15 in for space news. It's pretty good. I think I covered everything pretty well here. Anything else? I think I got all of it. I'm just looking through, checking my notes here real quick. Oh, Bandit. If you're still here, how are the Scottish people? Bree and I, for our anniversary, went to a Red Sox game. They're horrible. But there was a lot of Scotsmen at the game, which was pretty cool. That made it bearable, because watching the Red Sox, I think I would rather have my teeth get drilled. Yeah, but I got to hang out with a bunch of the Tartan army. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. They're into it, man. Not baseball, though. They didn't like baseball. Half of them left because they're like, I'm freaking bored as shite. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go find another freaking bar. And before you say, oh, did they really sound like? Yes. Yes, they did. Some bars are running out of beer. Fenway Park didn't run out of beer, dude. And there's a second wave coming. Good. That sounds Irish. No, it freaking doesn't, mate. Yeah, so weather guy, you make the quote from Gone in 60 Seconds. I tried to learn your ways, but this baseball was so bloody boring. That was quite possibly one of the worst baseball games I've ever watched. Yeah, the Red Sox are just terrible, dude. For the people that care about baseball, they stranded 13 people on base, 7 of them in scoring position. And lost 3-0. It's bad. It's bad. We got a big problem, dude. 37 in a row? I think we are in dead last, and I think we have the worst record in the entire league. Just on a quick... Yep. 29-43. We win 40% of the time. Oh, nope, the Rockies are worse. Second worst in the league, worst in the American League. What? We have an excuse. We got rid of all of our good players. Because, guys, you don't understand. You can save money by getting rid of all the good players, and then you spend less money. Genius. Wait, you need to pay players to get good players here? Craig Breslow, probably. Yeah, that's what happened. Anyway. Careful, you sound like the Pirates ownership. Yes, I do. The Indians actually don't suck this year. No, they're doing all right. Anyway. Isn't an equity firm part of ownership now? I still believe that majority ownership is John Henry. It's the same guy for the people that don't baseball. If you're from overseas or Europe or something and you football, the same guy that owns the Red Sox, the same guy that owns Liverpool. I think that's where they ended up spending all the money because Liverpool's actually pretty good. Where are they in the Premier League? Right. Oh, nice, Dan. That's cool. Doesn't the Sox owner also own a bit of RFK Racing? Roush Fenway Keselowski. Yes. Yeah, that's where he spent all the money, because he definitely ain't spending it at the freaking Red Sox, dude. They won the league last season, struggled a bit this year. Yeah, 6th. Anyway, all right, dudes. That's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the Space and Rocket review. I'll be back tomorrow. We do have a flame trench on the books for tomorrow. I got to figure out what we're going to do over there. I don't know how flame trench 100 is going to be topped, but we'll figure something out. If there's any crazy big space news, we'll probably do a space news before flame trench tomorrow in the afternoon. If there's not a lot of space news, we'll probably work on the car before flame trench. No, I'm good, weather guy. It won't, just own that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll probably see you guys in the early afternoon again tomorrow. But next week next week we're gonna get back. I'm going to try as best as I can to get back to the regular schedule, early hours, space news, after hours, as best as I can. Okay. Another surprise guest? I don't know. That's crazy, Orange. All right. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you guys all tomorrow. And I hope you have a good night. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching this Space and Rocket review. Good night.